Hello everybody, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you would. Today I'm making another video on technology because people have been requesting it, and I finally had a chance to do this, and that is a friend of mine had a 9-year-old laptop that had Windows 10 on it, and I really don't know if he had viruses and malware and stuff like that on it. But since he didn't have an antivirus on it, I'm going to assume that that's why it was acting and doing all the things it was doing. And as you know, as of the middle of October, there's no more support for Windows 10. So I was going to put one of the distros of Linux that I use on his machine, but I've been waiting for a while because of what I saw on YouTube and read in papers and articles about this Deepin Linux, which was done by the Chinese. And several people that I know from other states have and are using Deepin. So I figured, what the heck, I'm going to format the drive and put a new operating system on it. If it doesn't work, I can just format it, put another operating system on it. They're all free, it don't cost nothing. So I decided that I would do what the masses wanted me to do, and I'd put Deepin on it. And I know what many of you are thinking, oh, that's just a Chinese operating system, and who knows if they're spying and all this stuff. It's open source, it's open. You can see the code and see if they're spying. And several of the best people I know that put this on, used it, looked at the code, and they say, no, it's not spying. Many of the distros, and like Linux and Mac, they both have spyware and bloatware and malware that's built right in with the operating system. Well, apparently Deepin has none of that. And so a lot of the stuff that I saw on the internet, quite frankly, is quite libelous in not giving these people a fair shake. Well, I wanted to give them a fair shake because what I saw on the internet of it, it looked like a really kind of a step or two forward of your traditional Linux distros, quite frankly. Now, on my primary driver, the ones I edit videos and whatnot with, I use Ubuntu for that, my primary workstation. On my laptop, I have Ubuntu, Ubuntu, and that runs the KDE Plasma 6.5, I think is what I have on my machine, which I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with the standard Ubuntu and the GNOME 3. Just like when I went away from Windows and Apple, it was the same thing. It's always the same thing. With modern day operating systems, you can do the same things, you just do them differently. Or in many cases, you use different software. But to the rest of the OS makers, including distributions and Windows and Mac, what I have to say to them all is you all better take a look at Deepin Linux. because it's got you all beat. Deepin Linux, very forthright, very easy to set up and use, very easy to customize everything associated with their desktop GUI and everything else. I would like to just sit here and tell you that, oh, I am impressed. Well, it goes a bit beyond that, really. How they've got everything laid out, the beauty of everything, what it looks like, and its capabilities. And one capability I wanted to speak on right off the bat is its ability to load open software that it comes with. It's Debian packages. You know, they have their own apps in their own store, but you can do snaps, Flatpak, Debian, and regular open source software, and it loads no matter what kind of software it is. It seems to load it with just click a button and bada boom, bada bang, it's over and done. And I think that combined with their, it's kind of Windows-like in what some of it looks like, but others doesn't look like Windows. And it doesn't need to, or Mac, because it can be anything and everything you want it to be, everything the designers of this distro wanted it to be. And they did a really, really good job. What I saw, I think, is overall far better than Windows or Mac or any other Linux distribution I've ran to date. They have their own browser, which I could be wrong about this, but it looks like it's a modified Chromium browser is what I think we're talking about here. But it works very good. Its bookmarks are good. It does all the mainstream websites. I was sitting there listening to my favorite artists on YouTube, and I think everybody in the tech world should really take a look at what they've managed to do with Deepin and the philosophies they've used using this Deepin. There are many things that I think they can all learn if they wanted to learn. Now that's a whole nother video, whether they want to learn to do all the right things or not. That's always a questionable thing when you start talking about especially Linux distros, because some of the most highly opinionated people that I know are people who are involved with Linux. From political to technical functional issues to whatever you want to talk about. And then the graphics that we had under Deepin with my experimentation was probably as good as any, I mean, I shouldn't say as good, probably better than any other operating system I've ever used. So my personal kind of projection, if you will, is that I think all of us can learn an awful lot from the folks over at Deepin Linux in China, because I think they did a lot of stuff right. From the way it looks, the way it acts, the speed, it's very fast. When you got now to run this right, you got to have a highly capable processor, and you need quite a bit of RAM for it to run correctly. And I really think you got to have a minimum of 8 gig of RAM for this machine to run